Oh, it's cold.
I don't know if I have enough gear.
I was told this is one of the more difficult summits. We gotta gear up.
Well, I mean, at or near sea level where we are right now, it's not too terribly cold, but we are expecting some frigid temperatures.
And alpine environments.
Oh yeah. Yay, cryptic. Greetings and welcome to what can only be described as Matterhorn country in Florida. We're at 345 feet in Florida. The highest low point in the United States, or the lowest high point in the United States, depending on the way you look at it.
Now, in true Florida spirit, you went hunting last night, right?
I did. Let me preface this.
Okay.
Roman said absolutely no live animals to be used as TFL car, TFL truck mascots. I've tried everything from a gerbil all the way to Tommy, and nothing, we're not permitted to have those. So, we've changed a few things up.
Sure.
And I'd like to introduce you to Jorge.
Jorge? Who's Jorge?
The gator.
Okay.
And Romito. Romito is a little angry crab that we caught and is now hanging out with his buddy Jorge.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Angry little.
And I can see you mounted them on the hood.
We have sort of two mascots, really. We have the very friendly, smiley, Jorge, and who's just seems thrilled to be on the hood. And of course, the very angry, clawless, wheezy
Romito,
okay. who's now hanging out inside the mouth. Seafood is always popular with Romito.
Disclaimer, we did not hurt any animals.
No animals were hurt.
In the making of this
they
show.
were not damaged by us. There's somebody else who damaged them.
Yes.
Welcome to what must be called hill country in Florida. This is the highest point at 345 feet, and actually it's surprisingly green and hilly around here. I didn't expect this. This entire area has really been set up for families to come and have picnics. This is a nice little park, and there's a nice hiking path in the area that's part of a special program for having large paths at high points throughout the United States. Now, famous Floridians. There are a few. Wesley Snipes, one of my favorite actors. Jim Morrison from The Doors. William H. Macy.
So we're getting close to the end of the Motor Mountain. So what we've been doing over the last several episodes were giving some of our pros and cons after being in the Wrangler for this many miles, 35,000 miles.
And a full year of serious driving.
Absolutely. So here, let's do a couple more pros and cons, shall we?
Absolutely.
So, navigation system. Can we just spend 1 minute on it?
Seriously,
it's an older design.
It's an older design. The tech feels like it's early 2000s. There are plenty of things that are good, but there are plenty of things that have been difficult during our trip, especially in the south.
Yes.
We've experienced some problems to where it was tracking unusually, and in many cases it was literally sending us on a loop
because it didn't know some highways existed.
It had no idea they were there.
Which could be a data update problem, but entry of destination is difficult. And finding mountains, the only good way to do it is by latitude and longitude.
Which this allows you to do, and it's been working like a charm.
That's a good feature. And also the My Location, which shows you the elevation and your current location. That's a handy feature.
That's a really handy feature too.
The Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and now the Gulf of Mexico. Yes!
Hi, I'm Big Wave Dave Gallant. I'm with Emerald Coast Jeepers. I'm the president of the club. We gather about once or twice a month to get other Jeep enthusiasts to come, and we just hang out, talk about Jeeps, decide on our next ride. We're here in Milton, Florida, where Not a whole lot of rocks around here, but we do have a lot of mudding and washed out fire roads and stuff that we have a lot of fun on, do some great articulation. But the biggest thing is we just like to gather as many Jeeps as possible and talk about Jeeps.
Okay, so switching gears to some other usability features, cup holders in the center here.
Yeah, you know what? They're
Great,
good.
right?
They're really good cup holders. They're excellent size, and they have the little grippies on them.
But
They do encumber access to the outlet right here,
to the power outlet,
which is an option, and you can get this, and it works great. But you have to push a button in order for it to actually feed
activate
electricity.
the inverter.
Yes,
absolutely. And another good feature is stereo.
This is the upgraded stereo system.
The Alpines, yes.
Yeah, so
Alpine speakers.
and it's great. Even with cargo over the subwoofer in the back, the sound system is fantastic for a Jeep Wrangler. I know that obviously it wouldn't compete with some vehicles, you know, like an Audi, I suppose. But yeah, quite good, quite good.
And one more con, rear visibility from the rear glass.
Yeah, now obviously, you know, for those of you who own these vehicles, you understand what we're talking about, and you're going to shrug and go, well, it's a Jeep Wrangler. You got a tire in the back. Actually, the tire doesn't encumber too much of the vision. It's the headrests that have been an issue. And the way that the windshield wiper in the back is designed, it doesn't really wipe away that much goo.
Right, and there's also the wiper motor,
Actually
and also
comes
the
down
extra
and-
center light.
That's right.
For the braking, for the brake light.
So it all kind of crowds into what is already a compromised space.
So there you go, a couple of pros and cons.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to do some of that. 2 more states left the way we're doing them. Louisiana and Hawaii.
Louisiana, Hawaii.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a funny situation we find ourselves in. Here's the Florida buckle. And if you find it, you've earned it. Because we had to be a little sneaky in hiding it. Why? Because a bunch of people who watch our show showed up to the highest point trying to act nonchalant as if they weren't looking for it. So we had to find another place to hide it. So we're not that far away from the highest point. It's a road, small dirt road, not too far away at all. But we had to be very careful about where we were going, and we stopped in many places where they would watch us thinking that we were burying it somewhere else. Nope, we're burying it here. So you should be able to find this with no problem. Now, for those of you who haven't watched any of our videos, if you find this, there's a card inside the box. The box has an email address. Take a selfie of yourself with this lovely belt buckle and send it to us. Here we go. Florida. 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 Really pretty area here. Kind of surprised Andre and I. We were looking around and we were expecting like really flat and then a little bump or something like that and lots of brown. It's really pretty. The trees around here are thicker than we anticipated. And there's more variety than we expected. The hiking trail is spectacular that leads just off the site. Not too bad at all. And here we go. Okay, are you guys ready? Da-da-da-da, drum roll. See if we can get this right. A little bit of wind. There we go. Florida, right there, Florida. And by the way, the people we met here have been really, really nice, including the people who had a small Jeep club here and a fan we recently bumped into. Actually pretty impressive stuff.